welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we are going to be reviewing Friday Night SmackDown. This is the final SmackDown before I make my predictions for Survivor Series WarGames. Before we start, if you guys can do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream. We got a lot of things to talk about here. Survivor Series is coming up fast and just over a week away. So it's full steam ahead for WarGames teams heading into next week. On top of that, we also have the ongoing Last Time Is Now tournament to find John Cena's final opponent. With also the breaking news that Sheamus is not medically cleared to compete in this tournament moving forward. So LA Knight's going to be getting another surprise opponent. Let's open up with what we got here. SmackDown opened with Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, and Bronson Reed coming to the ring to hype their WarGames team. The Usos interrupted and exchanged some words with Heyman's team. Cody was going to join Jimmy and Jay, but when he didn't show up, we got a backstage shot showing Drew McIntyre leaving him knocked out on his own tour bus. The Usos ran to check on him as the show went to a break. Considering WWE usually makes its opening segments longer than needed, this felt short and sweet, but not much was accomplished, aside from Rhodes being attacked. But they did what they needed to do without taking up too much time, and that's always a plus. So, C. Ilya Dragunov took on J.D. McDonough. Great option. Great choice here. Ilya Dragunov came out to take on another opponent in an open challenge for the U.S. title. The answer was called by J.D. McDonough. These two have fought many times on the indies and in WWE, so there was no love lost. Dragunov seemed to have the upper hand at first, thanks to his striking abilities, but McDonough used some dirty tactics to take control heading into our commercial break. Came back, and we saw these men go back and forth with strikes. This was a hard-hitting fight that made both men look like tough competitors. Dragunov was bleeding just a bit, and McDonough's chest was beat red from strikes. While the former 205 Live regular put on a great fight, this was not his night to win singles gold. After a long back-and-forth fight, Dragunov won with his clean finisher. Like every Dragunov Open Challenge, this is one you need to see for yourselves, and I agree. Go check it out yourselves. J.D. McDonough is a prospect that needs to be fucking evaluated. He is so fucking good in the ring when you give him the time and space to do so. I think everybody needs to start cheering on McDonough because this is what he can do. Learn and mind you, protege to his mentor, Finn Balor. Finn Balor taught him a bunch of shit in that ring. So, great teacher and student here. Trained, mind you. Finn Balor trained J.D. McDonough. So, he is a well-deserved prospect in the WWE. Let's get that fucking clear. A-, go check it out for yourselves. Probably the best thing on this card. Carmelo Hayes took on Bronson Reed. The Last Time Is Now tournament continued this week with Hayes taking on Reed, who Nick Aldis warned backstage along with the rest of Heyman's crew before this bout started. Nobody's coming out. Let's hope that, nothing happens. Or let's hope we get a clean fight here. As expected, the Auszilla took control almost immediately. He was twice as big as Hayes, so the former NXT champion had a hard time regaining his composure as the big man unloaded on him. Hayes planted Reed with a DDT before the break, but the powerhouse was back in the driver's seat when we returned. Having Breaker, Heyman, and Paul at ringside gave Reed even more of an advantage. Okay, wow, okay. I can't believe Nick Aldis just to say, hey, stay in the fucking back. So what did he warn him backstage? I have no clue. So, anyway. This was their classic David versus Goliath dynamic. Reed was a dominant monster, and Hayes did a great job giving the crowd hope that he would make a comeback. The Usos came to Melo's defense when Breaker and Paul started interfering. While Heyman had the ref distracted, Cody Rhodes showed up and pushed him into the ring post, allowing Melo to win by countout and advance in the tournament. So Rhodes actually threw him into the, he threw Reed into the ring post and hit him with a crossroads on the floor, which Reed, of course, and I like how the referee did it. A lot of people want to talk about, oh, the referee counted so fast. Jessica Carr counted fast, all right? She was like 9-10. This guy was like putting his hand out. 1, 2, 3. You know, making sure he's in the ring. He's not, so making sure he's good. Because if he gets out, because if he's got out, it would have started all over again. So yeah, and then Cody Rhodes went on a fucking tangent. He gave a promo on the top of the announce desk where the match was over. Alexa Bliss also was shown backstage forcing Charlotte and Rhea Ripley to sit down and talk out their problems. Charlotte could actually turn her back on Rhea Ripley in this group and Alexa Bliss, leading to the heels to win, because you know how Charlotte is. Let me pull up the WarGames team so you guys know exactly what we're getting at, because this is what we're getting. At WarGames, this is what we're getting. We are getting, for the men's, Punk, Uso, Rhodes, Jimmy, and Reigns versus Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, McIntyre, and Lesnar. For the women's, it's Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and, well, you know exactly. We knew from Raw. So, put that to the side for now. But yeah, graded a B. Carmelo Hayes advances. I think Cena and Carmelo Hayes should fight each other. I mean, Carmelo came in using that Cena line to Adam Cole. I remember that. But yeah. Anyway. Let's get back here, of course. The next matchup saw Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, DIY, taking on Axiom and Nathan Frazier, also known as Fraxium. Sorry, I said Fraxium. It's a funny, goofy name. Ciampa seemed a little distracted by his feud with Dragunov, so Fraxium was able to take control early and use some high-flying offense to take out both opponents at ringside. DIY was able to regroup, though, and slow their opponents down as the show went to a break. We came back, and Ciampa and Gargano almost got the win with a Shatter Machine. DIY ended up with a cheap win when Candice LeRae pulled Axiom's mask, and Johnny Gargano took control of that and took advantage of that and was able to score him with a pin, and win. Pin and win. Graded a B, and again, don't ever count out DIY. We could be looking at Dragunov and Johnny and Ciampa at down the line, maybe by the end of the year. Maybe they're saving it for when they maybe they are saving it for when they go to maybe they're gonna save that matchup when they go to Worcester live event in January, or they're gonna save it for December. They're gonna save it for fucking the Friday after the Friday before the Christmas week and New Year's week. They probably would save that. But yeah, Candice LeRae feels so underused. She's a fantastic performer, and WWE never seems to know what to do with her. Honestly, leaving her with Johnny Gargano and being that heelish poison pixie that she is, that's great. But I feel like Indy Hartwell was her, like, you know, tag partner. I feel like she needs somebody else. Call up somebody from NXT. That might help. That actually might help. Or drop Kiana James from fucking Julia and put Kiana James with DIY. You know what I mean? Like, have Candice LeRae be getting matches, you know, like, have her be the fucking, you know, have this be like, oh god, when Jillian fucking, was it Jillian? When she used to do this shit for fucking, she had the mole on her face. Back when JBL and Orlando Jordan was, yeah. Do something like that with her. Make her a part of that, like, you know, group. Because this whole thing with Julia is not working. It's just not. WWE has better not break up DIY again just because of this Dragunov stuff. It feels like they have broken up and reunited more than enough. That is so true. They don't need to do that shit again. They don't. Keep them together until the right time to break up is the right time. Finn Balor took on Penta. 2 stars for Monday Night Raw, fighting it out on SmackDown. Coincidence? I think not. Now, this apparently was the last match, and I'm not going to say main event. This was the last match before we got to the final word. Obviously, as you guys can know, I don't even have to talk about it. Obviously, the ending of the show ended up being, of course, AJ Lee and Becky being the final members, a part of the Women's WarGames team, so you guys can already assume what's going to, you know, we already knew that. We figured it out. But, again, this was the last match that we had for SmackDown. So, of course, the main event was the Last Time Is Now, with Finn Balor taking on Penta, and brought to you by Prime. Why are they showing a picture of Carlito? I'm Carlito now. The Prince got an early advantage by attacking Penta before he was ready, but the Luchador didn't take long to regain his footing. WWE was smart to put this match in the main event, or, well, the last match of SmackDown, because these are two of the most skilled people who competed on the card this week. Penta and Balor only competed against each other for the first time this year, but since then, they've had a handful of matches and improved with each one. Balor was doing his usual heel act, which made Penta even more popular with the live crowd. Everything the Masked Man did seemed to get a reaction. So, after the Prince failed to hit the coup de grace, Penta was able to hit his Mexican Destroyer for the victory. Graded a B, and something to look forward to. Watching it, of course, of the highlights. I like that Finn Balor and Janie McDonough were both featured on here, of course, you know, part of the whole fucking Judgment Day thing. It kind of made sense. Now thinking about it, makes sense why Finn Balor, or why Janie McDonough was featured on the show. Well, let's talk about the final. Let's just talk about it. Let's just get it out the fucking way. The show ended with Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley giving a promo to introduce the fifth member of their team, AJ Lee, Punk's wife. Their WarGames opponents attacked them from behind and ended up taking out the babyfaces, but right as, of course, AJ Lee was about to join the fray, Becky Lynch attacked AJ for costing her the women's IC title. Again, the same thing I thought that Julia was, of course, going to do. Julia was going to join because she had no other place to go. What is she doing? They're probably giving her some TV time off, or she's injured. Whatever the case may be. This week's show seemed pretty average on paper, but it ended up being one of the better recent episodes thanks to 4 strong matchups and a few storyline developments. Depending on what you enjoyed, any of the matches we got this week could be considered the best, but I think if we had to pick one, Dragunov McDonough is one you should go check out. I remember their time in NXT. They actually were a part of a triple threat match for a Halloween Havoc against Braun Breaker for the NXT title. You know how well these guys were. Go check out JD McDonough versus Dragunov for the US title. It feels really good. But WWE has felt a little blame these recent weeks, but things are beginning to heat up again as we head into Survivor Series WarGames! Let me know what you guys thought about SmackDown in the comments down below. Graded a B. Honestly, let's put a plus onto that. B plus, just for the, of course, great performance from all strong matches here that we got. Everything was a hit, with a opening segment that was a miss. So, this was the final SmackDown before we get into my predictions for Survivor Series WarGames. Monday we'll have to follow up because that will be the last Monday before we get into Survivor Series, because I will be making the predictions on Wednesday. That way we can enjoy, all of us can enjoy our Thanksgiving holiday from my family to yours. Lewis will be back hopefully Friday for the for how we're going to do the Thanksgiving games is we're probably going to do everything. He's going to break down probably everything Saturday, just like I break down everything. Maybe. I have no clue. We're going to talk about it, where you guys will see it up. We're going to probably save everything for... We're probably going to save everything for Saturday coming up to do the follow-up of all the streams. So, look out for that. I'll be back Tuesday to give you guys the Raw review. And you guys remember the predictions will come out, of course, Wednesday, 6 p.m. And, of course, you guys know that I will be reviewing the pay-per-view itself on Sunday, the 30th. So, a lot of big news there, a lot of big news. Only 4 matches made. Maybe Raw makes one more. Who knows? Maybe it's just 4 because of the WarGames. But, until then, I will see you guys on Tuesday. Lewis will see you guys on Monday. Peace!